Lil Durk isn't just fighting another case. He's staring at the possibility of life behind bars, accused of being tied to a high-stakes murder-for-hire plot. But while the headlines are eating that story up, the real drama is happening back home. 7 kids, no father figure, and a future that could change overnight. And if you thought the chaos ends with Durk, think again. In July 2024, his 10-year-old son made headlines of his own after allegedly shooting his stepfather during a violent domestic dispute to protect his mother. That moment sent shockwaves online and had people asking, if Durk goes down, what kind of world are his kids stepping into? Let's break it down. Durk sits at one of the biggest crossroads of his life. Federal prosecutors claim he orchestrated a murder-for-hire scheme. If that sticks, his career and his freedom could be over. But beyond the court case is a more personal story. 7 young kids whose futures hang on whether their father beats the charges or gets locked away for life. That old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, became chillingly real in July 2024. Reports say Durk's 10-year-old son shot his stepfather, Joshua Pippins, in Indianapolis during a heated argument. According to police, the boy pulled the gun right off Pippins' hip after seeing his mother, Trevana Collier, in danger. Security footage showed him in a red hoodie firing a single shot that dropped Pippins to the ground. The boy later told police he thought his mom was about to get shot. Miraculously, Pippin survived and refused to press charges, saying, "I still love him like he's mine." But the story set the internet on fire, raising tough questions about the environment Durk's kids are growing up in while their father battles the feds. Durk himself barely spoke on it, though a cryptic July 8 tweet read, "Save that money for them kids. Kids. Many fans took it as an indirect nod to the situation. The truth is, Durk has 7 children: Angelo, Bella, Zayden, Romeo, Demir, Skylar, and Willow, ranging from ages 6 to 13. Co-parenting that many kids, with multiple mothers, is already tough. Add federal charges on top, and the family picture gets even messier. Angelo Banks, born in 2011, is the oldest. At 13, he's kept off the internet and seems to be living a low-key, normal life. Bella Banks, born in 2013, is already hustling. At just 12, she's the CEO of Bella Beauty, a growing fashion beauty brand with thousands of followers online. Zayden Banks, also born in 2013, was a child tied to the 2024 shooting involving his stepdad. Romeo and Demay Banks both keep their lives private, with little public info about them. Skylar, born in 2014, is also shielded from the spotlight. And the youngest, Willow, born in 2018 to Durk and India Royal, occasionally pops up on social media but mostly stays private. It's no accident most of these kids are kept away from fame. Durk and their mothers clearly tried to shield them. Bella's business grind is the exception, not the rule. Still, Durk has shown pride in being a dad. In 2024, he posted about having all his kids together for Father's Day, calling it the definition of a man. But the harsh reality is this. If he loses his federal case, his role in their lives may be reduced to prison visits and phone calls. And the case is serious. In October 2024, Durk was arrested near Miami International Airport. The feds claim he ordered a hit on rival rapper Quando Rondo, linked to the 2020 killing of King Von. Instead, the 2022 hit allegedly claimed the life of Rondo's cousin, Xavier Robinson, in Los Angeles. The charges include conspiracy, murder for hire, and weapons violations. If convicted, Durk could be gone for life. Prosecutors say they've got over 230 gigabytes of digital evidence and 20,000 pages of reports. His trial is set for October 14th, 2025. Until then, he sits in jail without bail. For his kids, the stakes couldn't be higher. Studies show children of incarcerated parents often face emotional, financial, and social struggles far different from kids in other situations. And when a 10-year-old already feels forced to grab a gun to protect his mom, it paints a grim picture of what these kids are up against. So the big question remains, with Durk's freedom on the line, what happens to the 7 young lives tied to him? In a later clip, Quando Rondo addressed the situation directly, saying,
"That happening to my right hand, man. My beef is really mainly in the music industry. You coulda did this, he coulda did this, your little partner coulda did."
The feds aren't playing with Lil Durk. According to a superseding indictment filed on November 8, 2024, he's staring down multiple charges. One count of conspiracy, one count of using interstate facilities to set up a motor for hire that resulted in death, and another for using and firing firearms, including a machine gun, in a violent crime. 5 of his associates were also named as co-defendants, each facing serious counts of their own, with one of them hit with an extra machine gun possession charge. Those names? Kevin London Grant, DeAndre Dantrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston. The evidence pile is no joke. Reports say prosecutors have over 230 gigabytes of recordings, surveillance footage, and digital files, along with about 20,000 pages of documents, ranging from witness statements to medical records. Even travel receipts and ski masks allegedly purchased with Durk's credit card are part of the mix. With that kind of weight stacked against him, the judge wasn't buying the bail request. On December 12, 2024, Durk was officially denied bond, with a court pointing to both his resources and alleged connections to another unsolved 2022 Chicago murder, the killing of Stephon Mack. No charges there, but the smoke was enough to keep him locked down at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Los Angeles. His trial, originally set for January 7, 2025, has now been pushed back to October 14, 2025, thanks to the complexity of the case. Both sides agreed they needed extra prep time. Durk has pled not guilty across the board. His defense is being led by Drew Findling, a high-profile attorney known for repping Cardi B and even Donald Trump. The legal team is already moving to dismiss the case, claiming prosecutors misled the jury. They are also pushing back hard against the use of Durk's rap lyrics as evidence, arguing that art is being twisted into alleged confessions.
Lawyers for Chicago rapper Lil Durk say prosecutors do not have enough valid evidence to convict him in a murder-for-hire plot. Durk Banks has been jailed since late October in connection with a plot to kill a Georgia rapper known as Quando Rondo, real name Tyquan Bowman. The attack killed Bowman's cousin. Banks' attorneys say prosecutors are overreaching when they claim that the lyrics of one of Banks' songs may be quoted as evidence. Banks faces a detention hearing next week. His trial is set.
Even with these legal moves, the stakes are sky high. If convicted, Durk could face life behind bars. The machine gun charge only adds heavier penalties into the mix. Some outlets even toss around the possibility of the death penalty, but legal experts say that's unlikely here. On top of the criminal case, the civil lawsuits are stacking up. In February 2025, Xavier Robinson's mother, Andrea Lakila Robinson, filed a wrongful death suit in Cook County Court. She's targeting Durk, his business manager, and his label, demanding accountability and support for her family. That's not even the first lawsuit. Back in October 2024, the estate of rapper FBG Duck, Carlton Weekly, also filed a wrongful death suit, naming Durk, King Von's estate, and the label. They accuse him of profiting from, or even encouraging, the violence that took Duck's life in 2020. When you zoom out, it paints a picture of a dangerous cycle, retaliation, beefs, and violence rippling through Chicago's rap scene. All of this adds more layers of legal and personal jeopardy for Durk, especially with his kids' futures hanging in the balance. History shows that rappers caught in these kinds of federal murder-for-hire or retaliation cases rarely walk away clean. Just look at Mac Minister, Anthony Grimes. In 2005, he was indicted for the revenge killing of rapper Fat Tone after the death of Bay Area legend Mac Dre. By 2008, Mac Minister was convicted and sentenced to life without parole. Other examples: C. Murder, Corey Miller, got life for a 2002 nightclub killing. Rapper Tay-K, Tamer McIntyre, was hit with 55 years for one murder in 2019, and then stacked with 80 more years for another killing in 2025. All of these cases suggest the same thing. If the feds land their punches, Durk could be looking at life in prison. The interstate angle, the machine gun charge, and the massive evidence pile all make his situation especially heavy. On top of that, hip-hop artists often face bias in the courtroom. Prosecutors have a history of twisting rap lyrics into evidence, something critics like Eric Nielsen argue unfairly targets rappers. Durk's team is fighting that angle, but even if they win that battle, the mountain of physical and digital evidence could still bury him. For now, Durk sits in detention, presumed innocent until proven guilty, but cut off from his kids as the October 2025 trial date creeps closer. When dad's gone, the kids carry the weight. When a parent goes away, the ripple effect hits the kids the hardest. For Durk's 7 children, Angelo, Bella, Xaden, Romeo, Demir, Skylar, and Willow, a long-term sentence wouldn't just mean missing birthdays and holidays. It could permanently reshape their entire childhoods. Research shows that kids with incarcerated parents often face emotional distress, money struggles, stigma, and developmental setbacks. Emotionally, younger kids like Willow, 6, and Skylar, 10, could struggle to process their dad's absence at key stages in their growth. Older ones like Angelo, 13, Bella, 12, and Xaden, 11, may understand what's happening, but they'll carry heavier emotions, embarrassment, shame, or even pressure to step up and act like adults too soon. Financially, while Durk's music career has stacked plenty of money, legal fees, lawsuits, and asset restrictions could drain resources. That means their mothers and extended family would be left juggling the finances. Socially, having a famous father in jail brings its own stigma. School, peers, and the internet can be cruel, turning his kids into targets for judgment and bullying. Still, it's not all doom. Studies show kids in these situations can develop resilience, especially with strong family networks. Durk's kids are likely to stay with their mothers, like Nicole Cavone with Angelo and Bella, or India Royal with Willow. In other cases, aunties, uncles, or grandparents could step in. Extended family ties are often the backbone of survival in situations like this. Maintaining a relationship with Durk during incarceration would also be critical. Calls, visits, letters, these help kids feel less abandoned. But federal inmates are often sent far away, and visits can be expensive or restricted. Durk's money might ease the logistics, but his high-profile status could complicate things. Looking at other rappers offers a glimpse of what's possible. DMX, who had 15 kids and did multiple bids, still managed to keep connections alive with many of them. Despite his struggles with addiction in prison, the family bond held. But he also left behind financial issues, including unpaid child support. For Durk's kids, the length of his sentence will make all the difference. A few years would mean missing milestones, but still hoping for his return. A life sentence, though, would mean growing up without their father entirely, a pain that reshapes everything. If you like this breakdown, make sure to click on one of the videos on your screen for more deep dives.